Welcome to The Fence with your hosts, Mitch
and Gar.
Our goal as your hosts is to help give a leg up to both first-time exercisers and those of you who may be getting started for the first time. That was the same thing. Our goal as your hosts is to help give a leg up to both first-time exercisers or those of you already in the gym. The topics we cover could help you with fat loss, could help you build a lot of muscle, could just help improve your current routine. Let us help you get off the fence and into the body you deserve.
Do me a favor and don't cut that part out.
Okay. Sure. Less editing for me.
Oh, hell yeah. So, what are we talking about today? Today, we have a pretty interesting topic, okay, that wants me to start with just saying I'm not suicidal, okay? So, if I will be killed in the next few days, it was not me. All right?
You think you're worried about getting disappeared? What is this topic?
Yeah,
Sounds like a loaded topic.
This topic gonna hit the pharmaceutical companies and the food industry that is trying to freaking pretty much kill us. You know what I'm saying? Make us fat and kill us. So, you know how much money they have.
Sure.
Boys.
Right.
So they can do everything they want. Like Hillary Clinton.
Uh-oh, now we're name dropping.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Oh, what's that? You hear something outside?
FBI, open up!
All jokes on the side, and let's get
Beep, beep.
yeah. But all jokes on the side, we're going to talk about processed foods. All right. So, I bet some of you heard about where our nation is going, right? Obesity rates are going up, but surprisingly, calorie intake is going down. And heart disease rates are going up too. Is that crazy, Ben?
Yeah. Go figure.
So-
What's up with that?
Oh, yeah. So check this out. First, I'm going to hit a little intrigue here. And if you guys heard about the Fatima Stanford, she is a teacher in Harvard University. And she is obesity medicine physician, all right? And if we believe her, she said on the TV, it's not our fault that we are fat. You know, it's not diet. It's not physical activity. We will remain obesity because it's obese because it's genetical. You know how freaking wrong is that, right?
Right.
Because I've seen really, really obese people lose weight and get into the great shape. They did a hard work though. But, you know, I believe that those words have an agenda. So, and by the way, she is actually sponsored by the company that makes Ozempic.
Oh, no shit. And so that's, Gar's leading the topic for today, but when it comes to these topics, I've watched some really interesting documentaries out there, and something you want to pay attention to is who's paying for an article or a movie or a documentary, who's paying for it and what agenda are they pushing. And so it's important to dig deep and see who the biggest sponsors are of these people pushing these topics, trains of thought. And you'd be very surprised by what you find out.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing, too. You know, dietary guidelines, who in the United States, who set that up, 95% of that panel is pretty much sponsored by food companies.
Like Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Tyson and McDonald's and Coke.
Bro.
There's others out there, but I know those are three big ones.
So check this out. From there, let's go back to the history, all right? So how do you think we were eating food before? Like, what we were doing?
Hunter-gatherer.
Exactly. almost 1 million years, maybe even more, we were hunter-gatherers. That's what we were doing. We were eating freaking mostly meat. I mean, here's the thing though, it depends on the region too. There was some regions like more fruits, this, that, but mostly we were hunter-gatherers, till 10,000 years ago. 10,000 years ago, we started farming. And the research showed that finding skeletons, checking the teeth and stuff, bones. Oh my God, my vocabulary.
I'll help you where I can. Archaeological digs.
Yes. They found that since that time, the strength on our teeth went down and bone mass, everything went down. Since we started actually farming, and using grains and other vegetables for food. That shows a lot, okay? Till it was, I believe, like 1600s or so, then we started getting back to it like a good amount of good health, because now we're able to get back some meat too again. But here's the thing though, that was mostly for a middle class. And the lower class people were still lacking a lot of nutrients. So that shows a lot that we were made as a hunter-gatherers. And it's not like I'm sponsoring here I'm talking about carnivore diet or anything. I'm on a carnivore diet though, but here's the thing, I do sell meat, so I don't care. Actually, I'm cool with a lot of vegans. More vegans better, because there will be more meat for sale and I will buy it cheaper.
Yeah, more for me.
Exactly. Plus, if we will look at the columns, if you will pretty much make a comparison from a carnivores, omnivores, and herbivores. There you go, wars. We are way closer to the carnivores than vegetarian animals. So that shows a lot. Plus, we require actually B12. I will tell you this, it's like I don't believe anyone could be really a long-term vegan if there was no supplements, because we see most of the vegans are going wild on the supplements. And we living for 1 million years hunting and eating meat mostly. Now, government is pretty much demonizing it. Every food industry is getting, like most of the researches are financed by food industry and pretty much medical field.
Something else we need to take into account, which I think is interesting, is the studies out there that are telling us that meat in general, and especially red meat, is bad for you, right? Those studies include that isn't one specific piece of meat. That's not like all organic meat. That's including McDonald's burgers,
exactly,
Bubba burgers, all the processed meats. And so again, just pointing back to that, doing your own research.
Let's start with the vegetable oils. Okay. In 1911, Procter & Gamble was able to make the first vegetable oil for pretty much consumption to replace the lard, fat.
Okay.
In a way of for the way of the cooking, the food. And I'm still using like a ghee, tallow for my food to cook. So they came up with the crystallized cottonseed oil. And that name of that was the Crisco.
Crisco.
In today's money, they invested $5 million to advertise that thing.
To advertise for Crisco products?
Yeah. And pretty much they made a half of that back on the first year.
Crazy.
And the same year we had pretty much the first detailed heart attack.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. There was actually in the 19th century, there was only 8 papers registered for a heart disease. And I think one of them was only heart attack.
Huh. Crazy. Cool statistic.
Yeah. And now, in 19th century, there was 8 heart disease cases. Right now, we have probably more than 8 in an hour, just in the United States.
Right. And so that was an entire year. There was only like 8 heart-related illnesses or heart attacks?
19th century.
Okay.
100 years. In 100 years,
wow.
we had only 8 cases.
That's insane.
In the 19th century. And in the 20th, it just been going wild. So that is why we really have to think about it, like what we eat. Because now we just found out canola oil is really bad. And a lot of people are catching it up. But, you know, a lot of doctors, if you listen to on the freaking TV, what they say, oh, listen, it lowers your cholesterol. You know.
What, canola oil in particular?
Yeah. Vegetable oils, they just lower your cholesterol. But in Sweden, people live one of the longest living expectancy. It's like, I think it's 70-something or more.
Okay.
Yeah. And their freaking cholesterol levels are 280, I believe. 270 or 280.
Okay.
Average.
Right.
Average.
Do you know what yours is? That's high.
Right now, mine is 240.
Okay.
So, and I do twice a year, like all out blood test. You know, I do like a crazy blood work. At the end of the blood work, I ended up with a book like this with everything. Yeah. So, and since I started carnivore diet, again, I'm not advertising it, but since I started carnivore diet, everything improved. So all my...
You were telling me that, yeah, all your numbers, including testosterone.
Yep. And my liver enzymes went down. My kidney enzymes went down when it was always high, and the doctors were saying, that's probably genetical, you know. But now it's like down. And I'm like, shit. So, and then you know what I'm saying? Well, then I will tell you guys this. I actually I just remembered where I coming from. It's a Georgian Republic. Okay, I was born there. And we do have a very high amount of people dying from heart disease. Really a lot. You will think only United States is using the vegetable oils? Absolutely not. In Georgian Republic, I remember when I was growing up, it just hit me because even when I was a kid, we always had the same cooking oil, and that was sunflower oil. All right? I always see that, even like right now, how my mom cooks with that oil. So, and we just have a crazy, everyone, men, most of the men that dies, I always hear heart attack. So, and now I understand why. Because we just mostly use their vegetable oils. We don't really use their like butter or anything. And that's actually sad. That's why I just throw it away at my from my home.
I have a little thing of vegetable oil there. We don't use them for really anything.
I mean, you can lubricate the freaking certain like mechanisms and stuff with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, before it went to the food, that's what it was used for.
I use it to treat my cast iron skillet. That's pretty much all I use it for.
Yeah.
But I could use something else.
I do not do that. I'm just freaking throw the tallow at it, and that's it.
You ever try to get your parents turned on to ghee or tallow?
Yeah, my mom is. That's it. My mom is already cooks only with the tallow.
That's tough. Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yeah, I brought to yesterday. I brought 7 pounds of tallow.
Where do you even buy that? Costco?
Nah, man. Actually, in the Costco you can buy ghee.
Okay.
But they don't have a tallow. I just bought it on Amazon, grass fed. You know. There's a certain farmers markets you can get it, but I didn't find it in Newtown.
You're gonna have to send me a link or something of.
Oh yeah,
check it out.
It was a big boy.
Yeah, sounds like it.
A big boy. Alrighty. So where we were. Okay, when you know what? Why am I feeling like shit today?
We're both. I'm a little off too, but we're here.
Yeah. But only time when people actually started paying attention to the heart disease was when American President Eisenhower got his heart attack. And from there, people started panicking. You know, people started thinking seriously about heart disease. And I will mention again, we didn't have heart disease in the 19th century. After 6 years, U.S. dietary guideline changed. And they were like, you know what? For a heart, good thing is polyunsaturated fat.
Okay.
And that thing oxidized like a... And oxidation is definitely not good for you, okay? That makes you old. That's just, like, you have to pretty much avoid everything that oxidizes, and the vegetable oils, that's what they do. Okay? So, and they started demonizing the meat from there, pretty much saturated fat from there. Imagine food that we've been consuming for centuries. You know what I'm saying? Our body pretty much is built around it. People treat their diseases with just eating meat. Like, we know Jordan Peterson and especially his daughter when she was a teenager and had a hip and knee replacement, as I remember.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Her skin was messed up. She was going to the 5 doctors all the time, like 5 different doctors.
Just trying to figure out what it was, what was going on. They couldn't get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I've seen a young dude. He like probably early 20s. His autoimmune was so bad, his skin was bleeding pretty much. You know, he has a skin was open, pretty much bleeding all the time. And only this helped. Going sharp on the meat. Then he tried to reintroduce certain other foods, vegetables and fruits and stuff, and his skin started getting irritated again. So imagine that. In 1961, then we changed our dietary guidelines, and little by little, our obesity rate just went up. There's a bunch of researches that it's been showing that calorie count being going down over time. So we don't eat as much calories as we were eating before, you know. But in comparison to 70s, when our daily norm was few grams of vegetable oils, now we have 60, 70, 80 grams a day. Because almost every food has it, you know. A lot of food has it. Like if you even probably a protein bars too. Like
I wouldn't be surprised because I know it's a lot of carbohydrates. Like I don't know, cereals and honey buns, Entenmann's, things
100%.
like that. Different baking products.
Yeah, have you seen the list of ingredients?
Yeah,
it's madness.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then there's bromine. Okay, in the 70s they started making with the bromine citrate. I believe they changed the bread. They started making bread with the bromine citrate.
Okay,
and we've been having way more cancer now. Cancer grew from there like crazy, and we didn't have it because we had the iodine. We were making that bread with the iodine citrate before.
Interesting.
So now, by the way, I'm gonna add this other than bashing the oil and stuff like that. God, where is my? No, one gun not gonna help that. Okay,
Yeah,
they're definitely gonna come up to me.
Yeah, no, they're coming in through the window.
Hey, listen, guys, you have to have what they need to have for to get into the home.
To get into a home?
Yeah.
What do you need? A battering ram?
Legally.
Oh, a warrant.
Warrant. Yeah. Listen, if they're coming in without warrant, excuse me, you're gonna get shot.
Oh, come on, all
scared
those
of my
things they don't happen with a warrant.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, I've been a good citizen, so you guys relax. Other than bashing the freaking industry. So
Nah, we're helping.
yeah, so before right now norm is like a less than a half a gram. Less than a half a gram of the, not even, I believe it's less than 100 milligrams is the norm to take in the US. Iodine, and iodine actually detoxifies your body, But there was one of the doctors, he wrote the book, there is iodine, there's 3 different books, but I forgot, the doctor was giving pretty much testing them this way. He was giving 50 milligrams of iodine a day to his clients, all right, to the people who needed the treatment. And mostly in US, it's like 100-something micrograms is like a serving recommended. So one of the ways you can figure out pretty much like how the body been taking that was checking the urine. And
to see if the body's absorbing it or if you're excreting it.
Exactly.
Right.
So in the beginning, pretty much people were like, some of the people were like pissing out about like 5 milligrams out, 7, 8, 9. And then after some time, after a month or 2, it went down to the 25. So body was utilizing actually 25 milligrams of iodine. And it helps with detoxifying your body from bromine, or even our famous molecule that is used in a toothpaste and like a Philly war. What's that is?
Flouride.
Flouride. There you go. And fluoride freaking promotes what? Bone cancer, dude.
Does it?
Yeah, hell yeah, buddy. I was shocked when I found out too. But that's what they do. And actually messes with the brain development of a child.
Huh. And it's in everything. They actually put fluoride. Yeah, it's in the water. They'll put it in other things. They do a lot of fortifying with different products, including our water. Water isn't just water. They put a lot of stuff in there to try to
100%.
fortify you, assuming that you're not going to be getting the nutrients that you need.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing, too. I believe right now, as I remember, there is only 2 countries in the world, first world countries, that is not banned fluoride in a war, pretty much.
Us and who?
New Zealand.
Okay.
So here we are standing. Those 2 countries only. I believe New Zealand being going hard on it too right now, but the United States is the last one. Bucks County, as I know, they don't have a fluoride in the water.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yay, we are safe.
We don't get the reports anymore because, we rent, so our landlord probably gets those. But I remember getting those at other places I would live, and it's like, basically, don't drink the water because there's all kinds of shit in there.
I mean, it's all kinds of anywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why we need certain filters, and the regular Brita filter not going to help at all with it.
I have iodine tablets at home, actually.
Yeah, I've been drinking that all the time. It just, when you think about it, like these days, before when I was, I'm going to do a not shameless plug because it's not like I'm selling it. So Iodoral, I've been using Iodoral for like years. So it's a 12.5 milligrams. And imagine now you need to drink like twice of that. But right before when I started buying it, it was like $25 for 180 tabs.
Okay.
Now, look at this. It's almost $62.
Ooh.
What is it? It just gained in price like crazy.
All supplements
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, right now buying the meat will be cheaper than buying a freaking protein
Right.
jar.
Which is insane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so now we are standing here with all these issues, and plus pretty much our politicians are not going to do anything about it either. We see how high the heart disease went, how high the cancer went, numbers wise, and it's going up and up and up. But we don't see anyone being too concerned about it other than blaming something that is not actually cause of it. And one of the reasons is they're being lobbied, but by these corporations. And I'm not going to sound like I'm like a communist or something. Nah. I love free business. But right now, everything is becoming a monopoly. So, and that's sad because like the interest of politicians has to be on our side, protecting their people. But it seems like it's not being there.
News to me.
Yeah. So that's why we have to take care of ourselves. And I absolutely understand tallow is not cheap. Butter is not cheap. Okay. Vegetable oils are way cheaper to buy than tallow or butter. But imagine how much money it will save you for cooking on that and don't need every time the doctor. Don't pay in deductibles. Even if you have a good insurance, you're still going to pay a deductible. All right. And wasting your sweet time being in a hospital in a not really positive environment.
If you don't want to pay now, you're going to pay later.
Yeah,
with your health.
With your health, of course. And snap out of it. Snap out of like a doctor's going to fix anything. Medication take care of one thing, but mess up other. Especially a lot of medications right now use the base of the bromine too. So yay!
Really,
freaking
gotta
awesome,
love
right?
that.
Yeah. So now we are dealing with that, and that's why I'm saying, guys, like really watch what you eat. Try to reduce processed foods because, listen, if it has like a dozen of ingredients, it's a wild mess. It's going to be a wild ride in the future. As I said, like before, since vegetable oils been going up, usage of it, all right, and calories actually been going down, as surprising as it sounds, we get more and more obese. We get higher obesity numbers. Schools, we see what's going on with the kids' schools. Like freaking hell. When I was a kid, you will never see a fat dude.
Yeah. Well, and then they would have that president's fitness test, right? And you see videos from like the, I don't know, 40s and 50s, 60s. And these guys and gals can all do push-ups, can all do pull-ups. They can all do the monkey bars. And now, like, the schools are more like, they could get hurt doing that. We're not going to force them to do that. Everyone has the choice to choose. Like they don't. It's actually freaking ironic and depressing how little of a price, I guess, that we're putting on health.
100%. As sad as it is, we really don't care much about it. We really neglect it. Same thing with don't get me wrong. If you are having fun, have fun. But I'm not a big fan of alcohol either. All right. I do smoke cigars here and there, but it's like a cigar is actually not bad in a certain ways. It actually stimulates your dopamine, and sometimes you want to do some work after that because of that. You know what I'm saying? But again, for a lot of people, tobacco is pretty much addiction. So I would still avoid that. I don't have an addictive personality, and that's why I don't mind sometimes giving a good smoke with the friends, having a good conversation. But you will see people smoking a pack or two a day of cigarettes. And then, hello, cardiovascular disease. So in 1913, he made a research that pretty much been used almost 100 years after too. I don't know how they freaking considered a great idea. So he fed the rabbits egg yolks, lard, and actual cholesterol breaking down soaked into the sunflower seed oil, I believe. So they developed high freaking cholesterol from there, the rabbits.
Makes sense.
Okay. And high levels of possibility of heart attack.
Okay.
Like similar markers, but not identical.
Okay.
But here's the problem, though. I don't think it's a great idea to feed a rabbit animal fat, the same thing as a man eating a grass.
It's an herbivore.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds like a...
Only time I seen rabbit eating meat, that was in some freaking horror movies, okay? And that freaking wild shit,
right, exactly. What is that? Oh, something shipped down? Like, there's like this freaky rabbit movie out there. It's like a kid's cartoon, and it is like a horror film.
Oh, man.
But, I'd love to see that study done with something that's, carnivore or omnivore. Rabbits, what an interesting one to choose.
Yeah. So, and here you go. Everyone believes that vegetable oils, because it can lower the cholesterol, it's heart healthy. And you've seen it on the packs too. It's like it's written heart healthy. But same thing as arsenic. So
arsenic is heart healthy.
Yeah, I'm freaking gonna kill your ass like real quick.
I like the analogy.
But I'm just saying, man, it doesn't make sense. That's why people need to educate themselves in what we are in, because it seems like you cannot trust anyone anymore, and you have to do your own research. There's a lot of research being like pretty much like knocked out and just erased from the internet that was actually positive towards meat, So, and now we are dealing with this. Freaking dude feeding fat to the rabbits, and they developing problems.
Moral of the story, guys, is that you need to do your own research, get educated. You can't afford not to. You wouldn't, throw all your money in a bank and then never ask to see it or not want to know what APR you're getting, or into an IRA or a long-term investment account. You wouldn't just give it to somebody and trust them at their word. No, you want to know what they're investing in. You want to know, you want to feel confident, right? And same thing goes for your body. You shouldn't just eat something because it's on a shelf.
Oh, yeah. Before I would make an investment, I'm doing a lot of research on the company where I put in the money.
Right.
Maybe certain stuff like on the risky investments, I can risk it like a little money.
But you're still educated on it. You're still educated on what you're doing.
And hey, man, last thing you want to be in a place of being taken care of in your 60s and 70s. You know what I'm saying? It's not like after 30s or 40s your life is done. As long as you take care of your body, as long as you take care of the food that you eat. I'm not telling you to go crazy sharp and just cut out absolutely everything. Nah, man. Like, eat right things. Try to get whole foods, non-processed foods. Wash your fruits and vegetables in a baking soda. And again, I don't eat vegetables or even fruits most of the time, but still, it has so many toxins from all this pesticides and stuff that regular water doesn't take it out. Your
stomach is basically, it's your second brain, all right? And your stomach directly affects your brain health. And so, and your brain obviously controls everything that you do. So be smart, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Feel free to shoot us a DM, an email, or comment on any of our content to request a topic. And to help us provide a better experience in the future, you can submit a topic request form on our link tree. Follow us on Instagram at The Fence Podcast. I'm sorry, at The Fence_podcast. On YouTube, you can subscribe at The Fence Podcast, and wherever you listen to your podcasts, simply subscribe to at The Fence. Appreciate your time, guys.
Yeah. Hopefully there's no FBI outside now.
This is the police. We have you surrounded.
Now he's the police. I guess they're trying to get their overtime, really make it work.
They're coming, man. They need backup. They heard it was us too.
Let's go grab a burger.